Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Okay, so let's get this Maxi thing out the way. And the reason why I sit there and say out the way first is because how do I put it? I'm pretty sure I said this in my stream either yesterday or Sunday or just one of those days I said this. Or Saturday. Listen, in a lot of ways, soap operas have become predictable to some extent. Now, it comes down to a couple of things. It really depends on how long you've been watching them. You can kind of just sit there and see certain things coming. And then there's just certain tropes that American soap operas tend to do. Like, I watched this show called Hollyoaks. It's a UK soap opera. And let's just sit there and say anybody can get it at any point in time. Okay? It doesn't matter who it is, they can get it at any point in time. I had this issue with Carly when she got poisoned by Valentine, and they're working on Carly, and they're acting like, oh, is she gonna live or is she gonna die? And you're just like, you know damn well that she's gonna live, right? So you're sitting through 20 minutes of them trying to add a certain level of suspense that is just not, well, for me, it's just not working, right? And then we have this whole Maxi thing, right? They take her to the hospital. They start to work on her. It's Lucas and Liz, and I'm kind of just like, Lucas, should you really be here? You know, given after the whole Sam thing, like, should you even be in this room? Ah, F it. So they're working on her. They're working on her. They're trying to restart her heart. Her heart flatlines and everything like that. And I'm just like, okay. And it's just going and it's going and it's going. They're trying to resuscitate her. And then finally, I think Lucas says something along the lines of, like, planning a wedding or something like that. You're not going to be able to plan a wedding or whatever. And the hurt starts again. And I'm just like, and everyone's happy, and you have Nelly that's happy, and the whole room and everything is all happy. And I'm kind of just like, now granted, I knew this is where we get the whole maybe we get too much information. But let's just sit there and say I didn't even know about it from the internet that the actress that plays Maxi is moving to Tennessee and just has some stuff going on. Like, she's moving somewhere, right? Even if I didn't know about her temporary leave of absence, and I'm just watching this, I already knew that, like, she wasn't gonna die. She wasn't gonna die or anything like that. So part of me was just like, this isn't working. Besides, they're not going to kill off Maxi. They're just simply not. I'm a little surprised that they actually killed off Sam, but I'm surprised they actually killed off Maxi. I personally do think that if there wasn't drama behind the scenes, they wouldn't have killed. They wouldn't have killed Sam, because that gun that just mysteriously got there. How did it get there? Did they even sit there and bother to, like, go into how the gun got found or whatever of Alexis when she dumped it and everything? Because I feel like that was not even the original plan of of that whole story. Anyway, Maxie survives, but she is unconscious. So she'll probably be unconscious until sometime late September, maybe um, early October, whatever, or maybe late October. Who knows? Nina and Carly. You know, as I was sitting there writing my notes, it just made me sit there and think about Sonny and AJ. And I don't mean Sean Caden's agent. I mean Billy Warlock's agent. See, I felt like when Billy Warlock came in, he came in specifically to be Sonny's punching bag. I mean, they made him physically more shorter. They made this AJ character more shorter, less of a threat on a physical level to Sonny. And then you have Nina, right? And I generally feel bad for the Nina fans because I feel like in a lot of ways she was just kind of brought in to be Carly's punching bag. See, she comes in and Carly's like, "Hey, listen, you're not allowing me, okay? Your only access to this property, to this hotel, is the elevator in your office, and that's it." They get into this whole thing, and pretty much Carly just reams Nina out for having Willow go off the rails, knowing that at any point in time she could have said something, but she chose not to protect her own ass. Like just really going into her. And the problem with this scene is that everything that she said was right, right? Like I remember, during my member stream was going through the whole list of who is Carly and the people that she's went up against. Brenda is somebody who was able to sit there and give as good as she got. Robin was somebody able to sit there and go at her. Connie was able to sit there and go after her, go back and forth with her. Sam, a lot of times, didn't sit there and take Carly's crap, and I felt like it was on equal footing. Nina, on the other hand, just comes across as a dingbat. And like during this conversation, she's like, "Oh well, I never got a chance to be a mother because of you and Drew and everything like that." I was like, "No, no, 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 no. We're not gonna do this." Because yeah, what Carly did was foul. She didn't sit there and tell the truth. And yeah, I don't care that Willow said I don't want to know. She should have told the truth. That doesn't matter. It shouldn't have got that far. At any point in time, Nina should have told the truth and avoided this pain and suffering and everything that led up to her kids getting taken away and her going down off the rails. So, my whole thing is like, Carly was right. And again, I feel like that's kind of the problem is that they just made Nina just punching bag for Carly. It's very rare that Nina will be right about something and Carly would have to sit there and essentially eat crow. Um, just kind of makes me think about the old days, Jason, Carly, and Sonny just being the stars of the show, and everybody else being supportive characters. Um, anyway, she tries to push Carly, she falls in the pool, and Gio was entirely pointless in this episode, and he should not have just been there at all. Like, there was no point of Gio actually being there. Dude said, "Oh, I just came to pick up my check, but should I sit there and stop this argument?" Lulu was like, "No." Lulu, the only thing with Lulu, and Lulu's scene could have been taken out as well. Carly just sat there and said, "Hey, listen, I talked to old Brick. She didn't sit there and fight me. She seemed to care about what was best for Rocco's interests." Before Nina came in and, essentially made a fool out of herself, which is just a daily occurrence with Nina. Um, okay, so Jason comes to Jason goes to Britt's room, and they pretty much play catch up for a good 20 minutes. There was a point that Britt thought that Jason was dead and everything like that. And, the thing is, Jason tells Britt about how he wasn't dead. The beginning of the conversation, during the beginning of the conversation, one of the things that Britt was upset about was the fact that, Jason left Britt for Carly. It made it seem like, oh, he just didn't care, whatever. He just kind of like, whatever. And to Jason's credit, it was a lot more complicated than just him just choosing Britt over Carly. I didn't like the fact that once again Jason had to sit there and sacrifice his happiness to save the Corinthos family. I wasn't a fan of that, but anyway, so she wasn't happy about that. And Jason tells her how he wasn't really dead and that he had to sit there and work for her as an informant, so this way somebody wouldn't get RICO charges. Brit had a feeling. She went down the list. She was like, it wouldn't just be for anybody. It might be for Sonny, but definitely be for Carly. And once she found out that Jason essentially kind of faked his death to save Carly, that room temperature must have got cold as shit. It must have really got cold. Because at that point, um, Jason's just like, how are you still alive? How did you attack how did you survive the hook attack? And she's like, oh well, I don't owe you anything and you need to leave and I don't need saving and this, that, and the third. And it's just one, she's still salty about the whole getting kicked to the curb. And then to find out that Jason faked his death, and she was upset, she felt remorseful, she forgave him for being kicked to the curb, it just made her even more angry. And the last thing that she said before she kicked Jason out was that her Huntington disease was in remission. And I'm like me and Jason kind of looked like, what do you mean in remission? Like how is that possible? And she was like, oh well, I'm not going to sit there and say, and just kind of kicks him out because of course, we gotta stretch out this story a little bit longer. I knew they were gonna do that. I'm surprised they actually even told us about the Huntington's thing because she did sit there and say, I didn't want my family to sit there and watch me deteriorate. Like, okay, well, you're pretty fine now. Then she says that in an essay. Um, Josh and Vaughn wind up doing the Devil's Tango, and then afterwards, it seemed like Josh had a bit of a regret. I don't know what it was. I don't know if she felt like she betrayed Dex or whatever. But after that point, she got up and she started going right back to business with the whole Brit thing and everything. And long story short, she convinced Vaughn to stay at the hotel at least one more night, so this way she get a chance to talk to Brit and see whatever kind of intel that she'll be able to get. She feels she can trust Brit because, hell, Brit saved her life. She's not gonna you know jeopardize it afterwards. And you know, Vaughn takes first watch. Just to make sure that nobody comes in after them. But it's also, things got a little awkward afterwards. I don't know why, but it when I watched that scene, it made me think about Soul Food. I don't know what's been making me think about Soul Food so much, but if you remember the scene on the rooftop, and I don't exactly remember their name, but it was like right after they finished doing the Devil's Tango, it was like instant regret. It was like instant regret, and it I don't know, it just made me think about that scene. Um, oh yeah, Brooklyn was there. She didn't really have much to say anything. Felicia was there. Spinelli was there. That chick from Home and Heart, I forgot her name. And I honestly tell you the truth, I didn't give a damn enough to sit there and even try to write it down. Oh, okay. So, Drew goes to Liz. Well, Drew goes to General Hospital and talks to Liz, and he's like, I want to sit there and see a doctor. Liz looks at his face, just like, it's just a bruise. And, Drew tells Liz what happened. It's like, well, I'm here for Willow. I'm like, bro, you practically just admitted that you goaded Michael into a fight, so this way she can get back her kids. And you wonder why Liz don't want to sit there and pay attention to you. She's like, yo, listen, this is an ER. Like, if this is not life threatening. You will see a doctor when you see a doctor. But she finally agrees. Like, hey, listen, whatever. I have somebody sit there and document the injuries or whatever. And if you want to wait for a doctor after that, that's fine. So he gets his pictures, his incident report, and everything like that, and he goes to Justine and Anna. See, Justine goes to Anna and it's like, I want to open an investigation on Drew. And Anna's like, okay, cool. What do you have for me? Justine's like, well, I can't really sit there and say what I have yet. Justine, I asked this question yesterday. Apparently, I didn't sit there and ask it loud enough. Justine, did you ever go to law school? The reason why I'm sitting there saying that is because Anna's like, I need some sort of evidence. I need something to go off of. Otherwise, one, I'm risking my neck because if Drew finds out and I don't have anything, he's coming at me. Two, I can't do anything without evidence. And she says that more than once. And Justine is like, well, I just have reason to believe. And I get it. She doesn't want to sit there and out herself. But I'm like, damn well she can't build anything without evidence. So why did you even go to Anna in the first place if you couldn't sit there and tell? But of course, she had Sonny sitting there practically quoting the law for her. And then Drew comes in, and Drew's like, "Hey, listen, Michael hit me. I got it documented. I want him arrested." And at first, Anna sits there and tries to play down what Drew Smith is saying, and to Justine, it's like, "No, no, 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 no. It seems like a case. Let's follow up with it." But she does sit there and tell Drew, we got to hear Michael's side. While Michael is with Diane and Sonny, and Michael has to sit there and explain his version of what wound up happening. And now this is a problem, right? Because what Michael did, even when he sent Wiley away, it showed premeditation. So it's not like he can really use self defense. Hell, he can't even sit there and use provoke. I mean, she said provoke, but it was if you are telling your son to go somewhere else, I don't understand how she can use the word provoke. Now she talks about witnesses, and Justine also talks about witnesses. And bottom line is they need a witness that is non biased. Like Tracy, Stella, Michael can't use. I guess maybe he can use Martin. I don't know. I mean, yeah, he's a witness, but he's also an officer of the court. So that should sit there and play a favor in Drew's, and Drew's camp. So at one point, Diana's like, once she finds out what Drew wants, with Willow and everything like that, Diana's like, you may have to sit there and bend the knee. I mean, the kids already probably missed their mother, and she's not with Drew anymore. So it may not have to be forever, but temporarily, you may have to sit there and just kind of just do it. Until Michael sits there and tells them both that he thinks that Willow was the one behind messing with Sasha's baby. No proof, but just a really good hunt or a really good educated guess. So now it comes back down to the witness. Like, either you're going to have to find a really good witness, or you're just going to have to eat crow and let Willow see the kids. Also, this isn't even guaranteed because Diane's like, you got to go to the judge in hopes that she reconsiders. Because she may sit there and say no, and then Michael and Sonny, well, Michael or Sonny or both are screwed. Uh, yeah, okay. I was like, I feel like that's about it. And then I looked at the time; it was like 19 minutes. I was like, yeah, I'm. I definitely think that's about it. Now, I feel like I might have missed something. Maybe I have no idea. So if I did, write it in the comment section below. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to do a live stream tonight. And I'm going to be honest, I'm just tired. I'm tired. It was a long day, and I feel like streaming tomorrow is going to be a lot better since I don't have work Thursday and Friday. Since I took off my birthday on Friday, it was like I'm not going to work. But yeah, I feel like I'm just going to sit there and finish watching the rest of these soaps, and then take my ass to so I can be well rested and ready and fresh for tomorrow's live stream. So if I missed anything, we'll talk more about it tomorrow, as well as tomorrow's episode, as well as, the other soap operas as well. Not gonna lie, I was kind of shocked about Days. I would sit there and say that much. I guess I was wrong. I guess I was wrong about Days. I'm pretty sure Jonathan and Ron is gonna sit there and have a good laugh. Anyway, if I missed anything, write in the comment section below, and I will sit there and see you in the next stream.